Mochismo Eugene, good morning. Another video from Exit Strategy. This morning, as I'm getting ready to get out the door and to go do some things called work. The title of this video is going to be The Narcissist Parent on the First Day of School. Here in upstate New York, today is the first day of school. Kids are all stoked and excited to see their friends again, get back into school. And of course, the narcissist children are stoked to get a lot more supply and fuel from just the interaction with other kids. They are ready and poised to torment, to cause confusion and chaos, the narcissist children. But that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the narcissist parent on the first day of school. Now, these people, what this looks like is a little child with the narcissist parent standing at the bus stop, waiting on the bus to come to pick them up. This little poor child, not a hair out of place, not a wrinkle in their outfit. They're standing at attention, but occasionally the child does what a child does, and it paces, prances, plays around, does a little bit of everything, say a 6 or 7 or 8, 9, 10-year-old does, because they're restless. They haven't come into their character yet, their personality as a human being. They don't have a lot of self-control. Now, it's that parent's duty to guide that child. But if this so-said parent is a narcissist, not only is this child standing at attention like they're in ROTC, they are under no certain terms or uncertain terms to do anything out of rank, do anything that remotely resembles adolescence. In essence, they better not act like a little kid or a little child. Don't you find it interesting that they are not allowed to behave their age, but yet the narcissist parent is allowed to act like a child? Now, in doing so, the narcissist behaving like a child, they are an authoritarian like you wouldn't believe, because you know they love to give orders, they love to be in control, they love to be the one that are the leaders of the pack. They don't have any good ideas, not one good idea, but they'll mimic good behavior. And if you're not watchful, with an untrained eye, you will not understand what's going on, but you will accept it as, oh, they just don't want their little kid to get dirty. That's why they're snatching them up every chance they get. They're pulling them and yanking them and yelling at them and screaming at them and embarrassing them and getting all of this unneeded, unnecessary attention for themselves, the narcissist parent. They are the parent that when the bus pulls up finally, they reprimand the bus driver. Why are you so late? They will tell the bus driver emphatically what time. They're asking the question, but they're actually telling the bus driver. So you're going to be here at what time? 4 o'clock? You're going to be here at 4 o'clock? Not 4:15, not 4:05, not 4:10. The bus driver says, well, generally that's what time we come. There's a window period. So you just said you're going to be here at 4 o'clock. They continually browbeat and gaslight the bus driver. This is the first day of school. And the reason why they're doing this because they are so agitated that they had to wait out there with that child that they don't love at that bus stop that long. They've gotten this little child all dressed up for the role of looking like a good little kid, and I'm looking like a hell of a good parent. And they had to wait. They had to wait. Oh my God, they had to wait on the bus. Now, if that child had his way and could stay out there at that bus stop and stand out there at that bus stop in a healthy way, let's look at a healthy parent. Healthy parent would watch that child from probably 20 feet away, allowing that child to be a child with just small amounts of guidance, like, you're going to get your dress dirty, sweetheart. Don't play in the mud. Your hands are going to get dirty. Reminding this child in a gentle way, in a loving way. And sometimes our children upset us because they do something erratic that catches us off guard. Anger comes from fear. Anger comes from fear. There's good anger and there's bad anger. And if you don't believe what I just said, the Bible says it best. That's if you embrace the concept or the idea of the Bible. The Bible says, be angry and sin not. And I'll go a little further. Jesus Christ, the Messiah, as the Bible depicts, was so angry at the people in the synagogue who were playing bingo, gambling, dice, poker in the church. He was so angry he came in and he turned the tables over. And he yelled and said, you make my Father's house a mockery. And so this is how a narcissist reacts on the first day of school. They don't have the ability to behave like, I would say, healthy human beings behave. Because the whole idea of the first day of school is to insult, embarrass, and agitate any and everybody they can. All the while they're trying to, and this is double dipping, all the while they're trying to garner fuel supply, insurmountable amounts of attention, adoration, and admiration, because this child is dressed to the nines, to which they taking credit for it. And the child is old enough to dress themselves. They pick the outfit that they wanted for school, or the clothes that they wanted for school. And this is when it pertains more to a female narcissist parent. Now, if this is a male parent, oh my God, quite naturally. I don't talk enough about the men narcissists, but I will in time. Don't worry. There's so much with us dudes, man. We would be standing out there looking proud, a fake proud, more of a extreme pride that that child that we probably haven't seen in all summer, we show up to wait for the bus with that child, all the while we're on our electronic device. And that's become a thing. When people are out in public and they are not able to regulate emotions and behavior and demeanor and self-esteem, their go-to tactic is to look down at their phone. And I think every single human being that is closely connected to their phone, I'll say it that way, that are attuned to their phone at the hip. And even some elderly, I see them trying to drive and text on the phone. It is the scariest thing in the world. And I'm an elderly, if you really want to be honest about it. I'm 53, but I've seen some people in their 60s and 70s. I mean, these people, these individuals can't even really pay attention to the road, let alone incorporate using an electronic device such as their phone. And they have it docked on the dashboard, which is supposedly legal, but to see them trying to text with one finger and drive, taking their eyes off of the wheel, it is a scary thing to see. And then yet the girl, young girl, sitting in the seat, she has one leg up against the door. The seat belt is connected, but it's behind her on the backrest, and she's driving through town like this. God forbid an accident happen, head-on collision, that leg is going to be behind her back. And she'll probably be through the windshield. So practice good, safe seatbelt restraint. I'm not the person that I'm not the person that perfectly puts a seatbelt on all the time. I don't perfect it, but I am encouraging you guys to wear it. Now these narcissists, man, first day of school, this is some really, it's a real thick, pressurous cloud in the atmosphere on the first day of school when you're in the presence of narcissists. It's like a very extreme heat they give off. I just thought of that. Even if in any capacity you feel a sensation of a strong heat. Anybody in the comments has felt this when you're in the presence of these monsters? Let me know. I haven't often talked about this, but this is what I feel. Not in a scary way. It's a very unnerving thing. Not so much a scary thing. What I mean, it is a very concerning thing. You know when you're in the presence of this heat, if you're very attuned and sensitive to spiritual presence of any kind, both good or bad, you just like I can walk in a room and I can sense the presence of sadness, fear, happiness, distraughtness, mourning, all of these types of emotions. I sense them, and I've spoken to some of these emotions, to which the person begins to open up and tells me that something very serious is weighing in on them. And I've had women, and I've said this in a video or two before, I've had women specifically, not just one occasion, no, many occasions, say to me, I don't know why I'm even telling you all of this. I don't even know you. I haven't even told my mom this or anybody. I haven't told anybody this in my whole life. It'll either be one or the other, but most often it will always be initially, I don't know why I'm telling you this. I've never told anybody this before. They begin to confess. And empaths and chosen ones, you do possess this ability. And you probably have been confronted with this by somebody at one point or another in your life. And if it made you feel a little uneasy, or you felt eerie or scared by it, or overly concerned, don't be. This is something that you're gifted with, and this is something that's to be sacredly cared for. This is something to be exercised in a good way for the good. And this is something you very much have to be wise about. This is not something to flaunt. Because when this happens to you, you're not going to even be expecting it. And when it happens to you, it's not even going to be planned. It's not going to be orchestrated. You're not going to get a heads up. It's just going to happen. Now that was a little bit off topic, but again, I just wanted to briefly talk about the narcissist's parent on the first day of school. And it could be an aunt, it could be an uncle, a family sibling of any kind. who's had a lot of contact with the child on constant or even temporary basis, they will garner this attention for themselves like you wouldn't believe. This first day of school will end up being a straight travesty, a nightmare for the child. The child will go to school so nervous and unhinged and emotions running so high. So that first day of school will be so exhausting. And then when they get home, the child will be met by the narcissist. Like, what happened in school? How did everything go? They'll ask in a way where it's so unconcerning. And the child will beam up and start talking to this parent or sibling, to which this sibling could care less. This sibling will be looking off into the wild blue yonder, probably occupied with something, not giving this child any eye contact. And if they do give them eye contact, it's with so much contempt. So even when they stare at you or they ask you something like they care or they give a damn, it's with so much contempt. I think I'm going to do a video soon, maybe even today, no promises, about the narcissists and their silence, what their silence truly, truly means. That being said, bless.